Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to My Hero Academia. This time on episode 6 of season 1, titled Rage, You Damn Nerd. Last time we saw Izuku joining his class at the UA school and undergoing the physical evaluations that they put on the students, and he had some trouble. Because I think his main problem was the fact that his quirk is all for one. It's arguably the most powerful quirk in existence in the My Hero universe. It's been passed down from hero to hero, and each time it's improved upon. So it's again, unarguably, it's the most developed quirk. It's the most kind of powerful quirk. So him taking on all of that power from previous All for One wielders, including All Might himself as well. It was a lot to handle, and the first time he used it, he blew himself apart. He took out the biggest villain in the arena, and he blew himself apart. So he had to be careful not to actually use too much, not to use too much of it in case he blew himself apart again. So he had that issue of but he. In trying not to use it too much, he ended up not using any of it at all, so he didn't really display it properly. And his teacher, Shota Ozawa, is a much more kind of somewhat more closeted hero. I guess closeted hero. Off the top of my head, that's the best way to describe him. But he's the one who he's the kind who believes that the media glorifies and popularizes, if that's a word, heroes too much. And All Might is a great example of that. He's the most famous one, and he's always being given interviews and chat show opportunities, and he's always really glorified by the media. So he doesn't believe that superheroes should be that way, because what they deal with is a very, very harsh reality of evil villains and natural disasters and lives to be saved and stuff. So he's much more grounded, and he showed Izuku that clearly. He showed him you don't even have a handle on your quirk, so you're nothing more than a liability out in the field. So he gave him the harshest, grittiest, most grounded pep talk, and still gave him the opportunity to present himself. So in the end, Izuku did realize that he needed to control his quirk a bit more, so he kind of just put all of it into just one finger, the least point of contact, and blew his finger apart, but the rest of his body was fine. So he ended up doing okay. So yeah, but he has other classmates. Kat-chan, who is one of them, and his power is actually explosions. I thought his power was just fire. His quirk is just explosion. So he can blast himself forward with explosions. He can punch explosions into people. Then there's the girl who helped him. She has the power to nullify gravity. She can do 0G. Another guy with rockets on his calves. And another guy with a laser, like a laser belly button, which he harnesses with a belt. It's just a bunch of different quirks, but they're all in the class together, so they're gonna have lots of fun, especially with Bakugo in there. We had that stuff, and Shota's quirk, he has his own goggles. He has the power to erase quirks just using his eyes. He can take away a person's quirk just by looking at them. He can activate it, but he can take away a person's quirk just by looking at them. So he's one of the more grounded ones, and I think seeing how his teaching differs from All Might's, I think is going to be interesting. I think All Might's a faculty member. I don't know if that means he's a teacher too, because we haven't seen if he gets his own class or if it's just this one class and they switch between teachers. Because I don't know how efficient it would be to have one teacher teaching them everything. Because Shota is the most grounded of them, but I think I don't know if he's fit to teach them everything, like powers and strategy and other superhero kind of topics. But I think it would be better All Might as well. They both have experience in the field, so All Might can help them deal with different stuff too. But I don't know. We'll see. But we met all those people, and then we had all that fun time. So yeah, Izuku he has some sense of control now. So it'll be fun to see how he lasts. But that is all I have from the last one. So episode 6, Rage, You Damn Nerd. Let's go.
I'm getting to the bottom of this.
He wants to. Whoa!
You bastard! Tell me how you did that, or you're dead!
Whoa! Nuh-uh. You don't attack your fellow students.
Your damn scarf? It gives me serious dry eye.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Class 1A's homeroom teacher.
Too bad. That was amazing.
He's gonna erase the quirk of anyone he looks at. The effect ends when he blinks.
Oh, when he blinks. I can't get over this. Is too bad. The power's amazing.
When I get mine, I hope it's just as cool.
Whatever, Deku. No matter what power you end up with, you'll never be able to beat me.
Oh, so he was an asshole from childhood then. That's very good to know. Very good to know.
Smash into the ground.
Yeah, there's gonna be a showdown. I can already smell that from a mile away. There's gonna be a showdown. Where are you? Are you at the very bottom? 20 is it? Oh no.
I failed.
Oh no. Oh god, that one finger still didn't do anything.
And I was lying. No one's going home.
Wait, what?
That was just a rational deception to make sure you gave it your all in the tests.
Ha!
I'm surprised the rest of you didn't figure that out. I'm sorry, I guess I probably should have said something.
You knew?
You should have. Huh? Nah, I'm always down for a challenge.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. If you pass the main entrance examination, then it's being expelled after that is just BS.
Whoa, thanks. That feels so much better. But I suddenly feel really tired. I need a nap.
My quirk stimulates your ability to heal, but healing takes energy.
Oh, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
my fault. That's just how the body works.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you have injuries, your stamina will be shot and you'll die instead of healing. So be careful.
Oh, Pez.
During the fitness test, he said,
Deku, you bastard!
Oh, well,
My name's
Yeah.
actually Izuku.
"It could make a great hero name. Plus, I think it sounds kind of cute."
Deku it is!
What you saying? That it was an insult?
Paradigm shift! My whole world is upside down!
Oh, jeez.
I am here!
Oh, All Might is their teacher. All Might's teaching them.
Hero!
All Might is teaching them. Yeah.
Teacher, this year is gonna be totally awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Is he wearing his Silver Age costume?
Oh, the Silver Age costume.
But one of the keys of being a hero is looking good!
Looking good.
For you based on your quirk registration form.
Oh, he made them
Quirk sent in
suits.
Before school started.
He made them suits.
Costumes.
Oh, damn.
Take this to heart.
The laser beam belt.
Oh,
Oh, snap. They look badass. Yeah. You can just tell that's Bakugo. You can just tell that's Bakugo. Yeah, they do. Wait, where's Midoriya?
Normally they won't let you change it too much, but if you had none before, I'm sure they'll want you to update things.
Yeah.
Just march in there and tell us what you want to do.
Crap, I hung up on
Because otherwise it would be false information if he shows up with a quirk after having said he doesn't have any.
all. Is that a costume?
I guess I might have jumped the gun a little bit.
Oh, she made him a
I
costume?
brought you food earlier, but you dozed off, and I maybe happened to peek.
Cool like All Might.
Seriously?
Is that a Pokemon? Is that a Pikachu suit?
It's not state of the art or flashy.
Is he actually gonna...
To me.
It looks like a pair of pajamas. It looks like a pair of pajamas.
This is it. My hero costume.
Yeah, like All Might. Cool like All Might. Yeah.
you're so obvious.
Yeah.
Now that you're ready, the best training is what you get on the battlefield.
On the job training.
Just punch a
Yeah.
robot this time. The villains have hidden a nuclear missile somewhere in their hideout.
Huh.
The heroes must try to foil their plans.
Hmm.
To do that, the good guys either have to catch the evildoers or
Hmm.
recover the weapon.
Hmm.
Likewise, the bad guys succeed if they protect their payload or capture the heroes.
Hmm.
Team A will be the heroes. Team D will be the villains.
Oh no.
Everyone else can head to the monitoring room to watch.
Oh no. Oh, this will end badly. This will end badly. Oh no. Oh yeah, he's got that death stare on lockdown. Come on, Izuku, you got this. You got the new suit, you got the quirk, you got yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I look back at him. Yeah. What you looking at, bitch?
Bad guys, you can go on in and get set up. Think from the perspective of an evildoer.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be too hard for
Things go
Bakugo.
too far,
Yeah.
I'll step in. Understood.
Yeah, he already wants to kill Izuku, so I don't think that'll be too difficult for
Even
him.
though this is training,
And his ambition. Not to mention his quirk. They're all so much greater than mine. But that just means I have to do better.
Oh damn.
I refuse to lose today.
Yep, he's gearing up. He's gearing up.
We'll just have to win with Uraraka's zero gravity. And whatever I can do without a quirk.
Or like, extend it to just your hand. You used your finger last time, so extend it to just your fist.
Battles and fighting in tight
Yeah.
spaces.
Oh! Oh, it's Bakugo! Oh no! Oh, damn!
You okay?
I'm fine, thanks. Deku!
It's just my mask.
Oh damn! His mask got burned off.
Look, there he goes.
I want her
Oh damn!
to have to stop the fight.
Oh damn! Oh! He blocked it!
Look at those moves!
He blocked it! Oh, he's flipping him! Oh, he's flipping him! He's got him on the ropes! He's got Bakugo on the ropes!
I analyzed every amazing hero, even you.
Yeah, he analyzed his fight pattern! He analyzed his fight pattern.
You can call me Deku, but I'm not the same helpless, defenseless kid anymore.
No, he's growing! He's growing!
Me? I've changed.
My boy is going
Who
places!
is the name of my hero?
Oh, jeez.
Fight me anyway. That's why I hate you.
Sayonara.
Ah, gee, that's the... You're ending it there? No! Come on, you cannot end it there. Come on. Be reasonable. That is... wait, are we gonna get like a whole episode dedicated to a fight between Kat-chan and Deku? Is that what we're gonna get? Like an entire episode dedicated to just that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, it's all coming to a heat. It's a very, very heated battle. That much is for sure. It's a very, very heated battle. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off because it's chilly as hell. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Wow. Okay. So they do get different teachers then. So some classes they get one class they get Shota. And another class they get All Might, so that's cool. They actually do get a different teacher for different classes. And yeah, I think they didn't really explore it. They just re-established the fact that there is definitely a lot of like intensity and tension between Bakugo and Midoriya. From childhood, like he was just a dick from childhood. He was a dick from childhood. I'm actually gonna go back and listen to that one final thing he mentioned. I didn't catch it as easily. Give me a second. Oh, okay. So I think he said, you're shaking in your boots, you're so scared, but you want to fight me anyway, and that's why I hate you. So, I off the top of my head, I can't really, like, interpret much from that. Like, he preys on Izuku because he sees him as weak and he sees him as smaller, and he sees himself as superior to anyone smaller than him. I think he would pick on, and he prefers having those kinds of victims. But then Izuku, even when he's scared, he still stands up, he still fights, he's still willing to try and have a go or try and defend against Bakugo. So he doesn't like that. He doesn't like being stood up to like that. So that's why he hates strength in spite of fear or like weakness or something something along those lines. So he sees that kind of bravery in Izuku and he hates that. So I don't know, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, regardless, he was a dick from childhood. Even he, all other kids were born with a quirk, and Izuku struggled throughout childhood and through adolescence, like not having one. So even getting his quirk, Kat-chan was just like, no matter what quirk you get, I'll always have one better than you, and I'll always be better than you. So he had that, like, from having a quirk so destructive as well. Like, his quirk is literally explosions. He can destroy stuff with his things. Like, his personality very, very much matches his actual quirk. And I think the same could be said for Izuku too. Like, he is one born without a quirk, but even in spite of that, he's still very fit to be a hero. Like, like personality-wise and mentality-wise, he's still fit to be a hero. He still fits that kind of bravery trait and that courageous trait. So having one that's passed down from, hero to hero, people who are chosen by wielders of All for One to be a hero, he very much matches that one. So like with Captain America, growing up weak and being pushed aside and still standing up in the face of adversity, he very much matches that kind of power and that kind of selection process. So it's cool to see that. But yeah, I mean, even Ida, he even addressed that, like, he was just like, like, why are you so particularly angry towards Izuku? Like, like he's only just joined. He saw Izuku in the field, out in the field handling himself, so he doesn't even know why Bakugo holds a particular grudge against him. So I think that's for the next episode. I think that may be it. So we actually see the full-fledged battle between the battle of the quirks between Izuku and Bakugo. So seeing All For One versus his explosive quirk, I think is going to be an interesting physical battle to see. But yeah, so they all got individual quirks. I think suits even. They all got individual suits, except for Izuku. I think the other students, they got quirks made by the school. I think they in their applications they sent in designs and measurements and stuff for their suits, what they wanted. Like, Izuku, his one was made, I think, by his mother. And I was half afraid it would look like a pair of spotty pajamas or something. Like the way he was running through the hallway, I thought it would just look like a pair of spotty pajamas. But the way he drew it, he just said, awesome like All Mights, or similar to All Mights. So he had the hair fins at the top and like the big white smile on his mask too, and like all my scene, I was just like, dude, you're way too obvious. It looks exactly like mine, and you have a power that's similar to mine too. It's way too obvious. But yeah, his one was made by his mother, so that was a cool gift, and she acknowledged the fact that like what she'd done in the past may have like actually hurt him too much, and she didn't really mean to be so kind of pessimistic and stuff. But him, I mean, you wouldn't really blame it, because growing up he showed no signs of quirk. If anything, growing up he showed signs of desperately wanting a quirk and never actually having had one. And Izuku, Bakugo even, he feels like he was tricked. He feels like, was he tricking me all this time? Was he just leading me to believe he had no quirk so that he could get the jump on me after all these years? I mean, for one thing, what would he really gain from that, besides from getting a surprise attack on you like you did on him? And for another thing, knowing Izuku, it's like, it would be way too much effort to pretend you don't have a quirk and then to get the jump on everyone, as opposed to actually, because otherwise he's just an incredibly convincing actor, like, pulling off all those years, wishing, praying to be able to have a quirk, whilst having one the entire time, and then finally just breaking down when All Might offers him the chance to actually be a hero with a quirk. So I don't know how that theory comes along, but now he finally has a suit, and his mask was half singed off by Bakugo's explosion. So that was a cool shot to see. The mask was half blown off. So yeah, that was that. The teams in this one, I didn't know it would be teams of two. I thought like they were gonna split them up into two halves of the class. I didn't know it would be like two individual pairs. Of students and stuff. So that kind of concept very much matches this one. Like, Izuku is paired up with Ochako, and Bakugo with Ida. So yeah, I think Bakugo himself, as well, him being a villain here, I think again conceptually that pairs up pretty well. Bakugo being the villain, having to face off against Izuku, again he gets that opportunity to fight against him. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pairs up, and I think it's interesting to see, I think in this episode alone, it's cool to see how it actually built up, how his suspicion has built up. Like he's he sees Midoriya handling himself in the arena, and then he's just like, how the hell does he have a quirk, and I didn't even know about it all this time. Like how did he hide it so well? And then even now he sees him, like the Izuku he sees before him now is a very, very different one from the one he bullied in childhood. In childhood, he had no quirk. He was still ready to defend someone. He was just beyond the brink of tears. But now he has a suit. He has a quirk. He's still somewhat shaken because it's Bakugo. It's his childhood bully. It's not easy to stand up to someone like that. But he's still standing there. He's still ready to throw at least one punch. And he still managed to dodge Bakugo's surprise attack too. He knows, like he's seen Bakugo in action for many, many years. He knows what his moves are. That right hook that he countered, that he blocked and countered over him. And seeing Bakugo's dodge come out of nowhere, he knew that, facing off against Bakugo would mean that Bakugo would take every advantage to catch him off guard and to beat the crap out of him. So he knew what was coming, and he was ready for it for the most part. So yeah, so I don't know if the only fight we're gonna get is Bakugo versus Midoriya, or if we're gonna see outside of that, if we're gonna see Ochako and Ida fighting over the payload too, like I think that might be a good way to split it up. So the actual fighting the villain, like hero versus villain, happens between Midoriya and Bakugo, and then the actual payload thing, actually, you know, saving the place and preventing it from blowing it all up, and even though it's fake, could happen between Ida and Ochako. So I don't know, we'll see. But we know that the main event is undoubtedly going to be Bakugo versus Midoriya. So that's going to be quite the sight to see. But yeah, so I mean, we didn't really see what what Shota's lesson was. His first class was literally just a physical evaluation of what they can do and how they can use their quotes. So that was just his. So we haven't really jumped into his first class just yet, I don't think. But we saw that they do get different teachers. They do get All Might as a teacher too. And All Might showed up in his Silver Age costume, so that's the one where he has the blue and the yellow, and then he has the red and the yellow, and then like a blue cape. I think he has like a blue cape. So that is cool that he actually showed up in that garb. And then he got the class he got the rest of the class the individual suits. The rest of the class got the ones made by the school. So I wonder how effective like the Izuku's suit actually is if it's made by his mother. I mean, no offense to his mother, I'm not saying she can't make superhero suits, but then if she actually is making a suit, because like the mask alone was singed off from the blast, so how you know, strong and defensive, like how efficient is the suit actually? Like what, like is it made out of carbon? Because like is it made out of carbon fiber, like a reinforced thing, or like what materials is it actually made out of? If it can, I mean, and like can it handle his quirk? Because she doesn't know what his quirk is. His mother doesn't know what his quirk is, so can it actually handle it? Like, if you try to throw a punch, will he end up burning through the material and exposing his hand too, or what's going to happen? That was my main concern, because, again, like, homemade suits, like, they can be useful, but unless you upgrade them, even then, even if you upgrade them, they can only be useful to a certain extent. If you actually get a professionally made suit with, like, you know, strong armor and other absorption, like, with other superpowered characteristics, it can actually handle your powers alone better in battle. So yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if by the end of the next episode we're gonna see like Izuku with just one like stripe of fabric left, and everything else is burned off from, you know, punching out and getting punches in as well. But we'll see. But he does have a new suit of his own. And All Might definitely, I think I like that All Might definitely addressed one of the other issues, the fact that, you know, he's a faculty member now, and he's now on the board. He's He's actually, you know, like a staff member at UA, but he can't play favorites. He played favorites he played kind of, you know, like a personal mission with Izuku for a while. He actually gave him the All for One, and he helped train him up and build him up and stuff. But now, you know, he will still protect Izuku. He will still stop him from getting into any major stuff, but he still identifies that he's a teacher for all of them. He's not just there for Izuku, he's there for all of them. He's a teacher for all the students there. And he was headed to UA originally anyway. He was originally looking for a successor with someone with the power, but then he saw Izuku, a kid without a power who, you know, displayed tremendous amounts of bravery, and thought, you know what, this kid actually may be worthy. So I think going forward it's going to be interesting to see how much he can actually help Izuku compared to how much he helps the other kids, and how he actually deals with their different issues too. Like, I mean, with Bakugo around, you know, school bullying is going to be a thing, so seeing how he handles that is going to be interesting too. I mean, I don't know how it might differ in a school full of superheroes, if they'd be like, you know, oh, you got superpowers now, so you can just handle your bullying in your own time and, you know, fight back using whatever powers you have, or if they actually, you know, tell them to be, you know, good sports people and actually respect each other and stuff. But I don't know how well that message alone might get through to Bakugo. And a cool tidbit on Recovery Girl's powers. So it works the same way. She has to kiss the affected area to actually inflict her powers, but she doesn't provide any recovery, any kind of healing energy of her own. She boosts the body's natural healing powers, which then takes up energy. So that's why he actually felt. So we didn't really see that in the last episode. I mean, well, he was already on the ground and he was crippled, so I guess being on the ground, him needing a nap just came naturally. But this one, he was actually, you know, standing up or something, and he just, you know, felt dizzy after getting healed. So yeah, that's a cool kind of tidbit. So it's not that she actually provides her own kind of, you know, like healing boost. She uses her powers to boost the person's healing system, but then that takes up more energy to rejuvenate the body and everything. So that was cool. That was cool to see. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have from this one. So I think going forward, I think so far the story is actually flowing really well. It starts off with this quirkless kid struggling to live in a world full of quirks where he doesn't really have one, and then he meets his favorite hero, gets given these powers, and now he has to learn to control them. But also, you know, going into that field of like you know, the rivalry between him and Bakugo is still very much a thing, and I think it's important to still see how him now having a quirk and him somewhat matching the level of I mean, well, he has All for One, which is an incredibly tremendous power, which I guess it does still, physically speaking, it does still match Bakugo's power. So seeing how even Bakugo even said, you know, one day he'll be even better than All Might and he'll be the richest, most powerful super in the world. Like, seeing how he comes up against All for One now, I think that will be interesting to see. Seeing if he can actually live up to those words and seeing how those powers actually match. But also that kind of story of Bakugo versus Midoriya, seeing how their rivalry is tested even more when now both of them are on an equal playing field. And seeing how they clash this time, and seeing if there's any development, if there's any positive development between either of them, and seeing how that moves is going to be cool to see. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. Looking forward to the next one thoroughly. But yeah, that was My Hero Academia Season 1, Episode 6, titled Rage, You Damn Nerd. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on My Hero Academia. The Anchor reaction will be available on Patreon, so feel free to go check it out. And yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.